But Zane, we have always been saying that the players haven't get used to Haaland as yet. But I was listening to the great Thierry Henry over the weekend, and he was saying that when he was playing for Arsenal, he would get used to the players that he would playing with. Right, so he would know when to come short for a specific player. He would know when to run when a specific player have the ball. Maybe that's what
Alan work on that.
Work on.
Yes, everyone. When you hear the voice, you don't know, is a big welcome to everyone listening to the Last of the Real podcast. And you know, Zane alongside the People's Choice.
What's up, Zane? What's up, peeps?
Well, we're the end of the day, JRP.
Which is right. You know, a lovely Sunday evening. You know, a week full of football, a week full of controversy as well.
Yes, definitely. You know, we cannot go a week without the controversy.
Yes, it would be too dull.
Too dull. I know we have to give the people the excitement that they need. For all who don't have the internet and love the Premier League like ourselves, you know, we're here to bring you the quick roundup of the weekend's matches. So, JRP,
yes, sir.
Start with Spurs and West Ham now.
Spurs. Didn't spur up this one.
You see, saying that next week they might come with the same shit again.
Possible, but they have been inconsistent since the season start. But the good thing about it is that they managed to move up to fourth, and that's the beauty of the EPL.
True, that is true. I mean, you see, I think the best thing is if it doesn't come back and his deputy continues in his place. Yeah, because I don't remember the name of the guy because it's very hard to pronounce. But every time he's deputized for Conte, he has won. So he has a perfect 6-6 record right now.
So you say it was Conte was the problem?
Speculating.
All right.
Yeah. But another thing we noticed in the game still, Richarlison just look a shadow of himself since the World Cup. Right?
Yes, Richarlison have, in fairness, not having the best of season because I thought the Spurs move would have been a good one for him, you know?
Yes, I thought it would have lit up Spurs team and give them a different dimension.
Not going to script right now.
No. And the one thing you can always count on though with Spurs, the dynamic duo, Batman and Robin, Hurricane and Son.
Yes.
Yeah, they Hurricane and
Son. And this season, Son himself has been very quiet, below his standard, but he managed to find a goal. Like I said, the Batman and Robin duo. By the way, how should a Batman?
When I say Hurricane.
Okay. And Son is
Robin. Son of the Robin, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, man. But talking about lacking confidence right now, because that was, I think, Son's problem, just the confidence. West Ham is lacking confidence big time, man.
West Ham is lacking in everything right now with 23 games in the season and they just have 20 points on the board and they sit in 18th position. That is a worrying sign.
Yeah.
They're not making any upward movement out of the relegation battle. If the league should finish tomorrow, West Ham will get relegated.
And I can honestly say David Moyes being one of the next managers to go.
I'm surprised Moyes still have a job up to now.
True. That is true. Now, the one good thing for this West Ham team, today Bowen was the best player. Yes, they lost, but early on within the first minute, if Bowen had took his chance,
would have been a different story.
But
these are the fine margins in football that you have to capitalize on.
Exactly. Once the chance come begging, you have to grab it with both hands. No, people, we're going to look at Manchester United and Leicester City.
Yes, the Marcus Rashford show.
No, saying that this 3-0, it flatters Manchester United a little bit, and it doesn't tell the whole story.
Which is right. You could say two informed team. Manchester United being the more informed one. Leicester City finally finding their footing. Didn't play bad in this match, but came up at the losing.
I think Leicester City were the more dominant team in the first half, And
but when you have a man like Marcus Rashford,
amazing form.
Everything he touched does turn into goal right now. So
I tell you, and
rough one for Leicester.
No, another person, the unsung hero to me was De Gea.
Pulling out some wonderful saves.
Oh gosh, man. It was like, the Superman De Gea of all.
And this is the same De Gea that is currently still in negotiation with his contract, but currently not getting what he wants. I think they want to give him a pay cut or something like that.
I mean, how can you give him a pay cut when you have players coming in the team making 300,000 very first season? And this man has proven himself over and over. And especially after today's display.
This is one to watch. But yeah, it was a good all-round performance by Manchester United. But speaking of contract as well, Marcus Rashford going to his final year. So that's a player that Manchester United need to wrap up as quickly as possible.
I mean, there's some wolves that will be sniffing around that,
Well, what do you think will convince Rashford to stay?
Probably a trophy of some sort.
Probably a trophy.
Yeah, either the money or a trophy of some sort.
And they're pretty much in all trophy hunting.
Yeah. Because right now, the Premier League feels like a 3-horse race,
Yeah, because Man U was definitely snuggled their way in.
Yeah, man.
And they're still in the FA Cup, they're still in the League Cup. Matter of fact, they're in the League Cup finals.
Finals, right. And they're in Europa League.
Yeah.
Because they're playing at home in this next fixture in the Europa League.
Yeah, they went to Barcelona and
drew 2-2.
So the advantage is with them.
Yeah, so let's see how they fare. But again, Leicester, tough luck. You played the better first half, but second half, Manchester United just totally took it away.
It was always going to be an uphill task for Leicester City, and come Saturday again, they are going up against Arsenal. So that should be another entertaining battle.
Yeah,
depends on which Leicester will come out. Will they adapt? They
sit back and defend.
Yes, like what other teams do, and have that low block thing, or they will come out and play the football that we have seen them play in the coming weeks.
I know one thing for certain: the Premier League season is definitely heating up. But another team that looked like they were, the best defense in the world, unbreachable. Newcastle. They took on a Liverpool team that has recently, started to find some form.
Yeah, finally they have found their footing. Yeah, finally they find their footing. Signs were showing for Newcastle that things were off the boil since that Arsenal match where they draw. Was it 0-0?
0-0, right?
Yes.
And the thing is, as well, this is Newcastle's. They ended a 3-draw spree with a defeat. Because the last time they won was 1-0 against Fulham.
Yes, and like I said, the signs were there. They were in all those 3 draws. They were basically struggling to hang on.
Yes,
to a point. And question was now being asked, or the team need to refresh and need to rotate more. And then when you have Nick Pope now that come out and do something that's stupid, now he's going to miss the League Cup finals.
Oh, you think, and the red card that he picked up, I think that ended any chance of a fight back.
Yeah, that was just like the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I can say for Liverpool though, they're getting players back at the right time, and Cody Gapco scored again, and Darren Nunes finally scored again.
After being wasteful for the majority of the season.
Oh, very wasteful. And the one thing I've noticed in the game as well, they players like Nunes, him being the striker, he finds it hard to pass to Salah. He wants the glory, he wants the goals. Because after being 2-0 up, there was an opportunity where they broke and Salah was screaming for the ball. Even in the box, Salah was asking for the ball, and he decided to take it out himself.
Take on the glory.
Yeah, and the usual outcome followed.
Yeah.
You know what? You think Liverpool can get top 4 though?
That is a very good question. They are 8 in the table, right?
Right.
Possible, because when you look at the persons that are ahead of them are like the Brighton, Fulham, and Newcastle and Tottenham. If they continue like this, we can see them overtaking Brighton. Well, they and Brighton are on 35 points.
Right.
Fulham actually sticking around. Will they continue this their farm? Newcastle now showing some worrying signs.
And the thing is as well, you know, Liverpool has 2 games in hand and 4th place Tottenham.
Yeah. And when you look at Newcastle now, are they going through their slum? Is it because they have one eye on the finals? That's what distracting them. So there's a lot of questions to be asked, because they're in a good position to play in Europe, and I'm sure they don't want to mess this up. Their next opponent is Brighton, a troublesome team.
Very troublesome team. It should be a good game.
Should be a good one.
Now, we're going to look at the team that all Arsenal fans out there should be thanking: Nottingham Forest and Manchester City.
Didn't see this one coming.
How did this end in a draw? Bro, you would have bet your house and lose your house on this one.
Yes. Definitely, because we didn't see this coming.
Oh, no, not at all.
And this was one of Haaland's poorest game as well.
Yes. Forest has been good at home, you know, but when you come up against a Manchester City team with the machine and the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, right? You expect them to roll over a Nottingham Forest team.
But that wasn't the case.
And I think we have to give great praises to their goalie, Neves. Oh gosh, man, he's the Nottingham Forest hero again. Best signing of the season.
And Nottingham Forest pulled themselves up to 13th position. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were saying that Nottingham Forest was a team that was going to get relegated with all of the multiple signings. And now, with 23 games in, they are like pulling away from safety. Pulling away towards safety, I should say.
They're 7 points ahead of bottom place, 6 points ahead of Leeds in 19.
Yes.
You know? And at least 5 points ahead of West Ham.
And this season, Manchester City haven't been great. They have let go some of their top talents, and they are playing with a new system. But you know, Zane, we have always been saying that the players haven't get used to Haaland as yet. But I was listening to the great Thierry Henry over the weekend, and he was saying that when he was playing for Arsenal, he would get used to the players that he would play with. Right, so he would know when to come short for a specific player. He would know when to run when a specific player have the ball. Maybe that's what Haaland work on, because he's always, tending to run and running into space so players can find him. Maybe when a Bernardo Silva have a ball, maybe Haaland need to come and meet Bernardo Silva and play that 1-2 with him and then move on.
Right.
Because currently it is not working. as how we have anticipated. So maybe he have to meet them halfway rather than them meeting him.
That is true. That is true. And we had a good point with that.
Yeah, and many of us didn't see it that way.
No, because I mean, we know how clinical he is. So all of us are just thinking, give him the ball and he'll do the rest.
Yeah.
But the ball is not coming.
The ball is not coming, and then when there are going to be moments when you're bucking up a team like Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. That I will say one thing though. Praises to Nottingham Forest because they stuck to their game plan.
I didn't change.
Tight. Yeah, they didn't change. They kept it tight and started attacking the last 10-15 minutes.
And this is what we're seeing more and more from different teams. Not because you're the Arsenal, not because you're the City or the Liverpool that press. They are coming with a game plan and they are not changing their game plan regardless of what.
Yes. They have a plan A, B, and C right now.
While the bigger boys tend to have only one plan.
True. Speaking of the bigger boys though, let's look at Chelsea Southampton real quick and see if we can figure out what is going wrong at Chelsea.
No, we can't figure out what is going wrong at Chelsea because if you had told us that last place Southampton would have been in Chelsea, would have said you're lying.
Nobody saw this one, man. Nobody saw this one.
And we would struggle to find a Chelsea player that did well.
True. Because even players like with big reputations like Koulibaly, he got substituted at what? Halftime?
Yeah.
It was very poor. Extremely poor. And the problem is as well, I don't think Potter knows his best starting 11 because this was what, 6 changes from the last game?
But how would you figure out your best starting 11 when you have this multitude of talent around you? How? That's $1 million question.
Yes, it's almost impossible without a preseason.
Yeah, you would need correct. You would need a preseason to carry these players out and create a system. But
right, and see who fits.
Is trying to create a system within the season.
Yeah. So do you think though that these players that come in, the amount of money that Tally spent is actually hurting Chelsea more than helping Chelsea in the short term?
I mean,
because even Felix didn't look like the Felix from the last game, you know.
Yeah, Felix have a tendency to be very sharp.
Exactly. Now, what Chelsea's?
What I'm going to say is that I'm not going to jump the gun and said, hey, this will affect Chelsea in the long run because what we are seeing right now is result, and that would have been quick to say, see, this isn't working. I think what can save Chelsea right now is not necessarily even a system. These individual players will have to use their talent to build themselves out along with Potter.
I agree.
That's the only thing that can happen. To buy some time.
Because if you get rid of Potter, basically you're going to encounter the same problem with a new manager coming in.
Yeah, and there's no point getting rid of Potter now with 23 games in.
No. And there's no guarantee a new manager is going to hit the ground running.
It's all a gamble. They sit 10th in the table. Will they get a Europe spot possible? Because there is the Conference League, there's Europa League. But when you look at making Champions League, no, unless Chelsea is going all out, gun blazing, and win the Champions League.
Yeah, and which they're what? They lost the first leg, didn't they?
Against.
I think they lost the first leg 1-0. So it looks sticky for Chelsea this season. But if the Chelsea fans and the hierarchy have the patience to just try and fight through this season, maybe with a preseason, we can see a system in place and we can see what Potter can really do.
That's all it's gonna take, you know. You're just looking at next season. Right
That's
now,
it.
next Sunday they have a Tottenham. They're playing away to Tottenham. No, that's going to be another difficult task as well.
Yeah.
Possibly they could end up with another loss.
Yeah, true. That is true. Chelsea fans, me could know what you're thinking in the comment section. Please, should Potter get some more time, or you think it was a mistake firing in Tuchel?
Tuchel.
I'll tell you, boy. But, you know, let's look at a team that needed a win this weekend, Everton. Right?
Typically, what you get from a Sean Dyche side, Everton is like the next Burnley right now, because that's how Burnley would have won their match. 1-0.
1-0.
And just fight it out.
Yeah, just a scruffy 1-0. And this was like a relegation showdown, because this win pushed them up to Everton up to 16 and 21.
Yes. Pulling them up to safety.
Why right now we still can't say nobody safe, you know? Because the last lead suffered, they sit in 19 and 19 points.
Yeah.
So just 2 behind Everton.
I mean, the bottom of the table is as close as the top of the table, because when you look at Southampton and 18 points, Leeds and 19, West Ham 20, Bournemouth 21, Everton 21. Let's not put Wolves in there for now. This right here is like a final in every match for each of these teams. Exactly.
It's a do or die game. It's coming on to right now. Do or die. Every game is like that for them.
And if I'm a betting person, I would put my money on Everton to be safe.
Yeah, man. They like we said, they're the new Burnley, so they will fight it out.
Definitely. And with Sean Dyche, that's like what you said, a match made in heaven. This guy have a good reputation, have grinding out result, difficult to break down, keeping his team up. Look at what the man did with Burnley. Burnley just failed to reinvest in that team, so everything just eventually break down.
Which is just the natural process.
Which is just natural. And coincidentally, and Everton taking that same approach as well. Because if they're going to keep Sean Dyche, they will have to invest in the current season.
Yes, definitely. No, one of the biggest surprises of the season so far, Fulham. They took on a Brighton team that has...
And won.
and Brighton has been flying. But we've been saying it in a JRP that Fulham looks like they're definitely here to stay.
They are definitely here to stay, and they're not moving.
Now we see Fulham sitting in 6th spot in a man, which is, basically a European position.
Yes. And if they continue like this, they could very well overtake Newcastle.
Honestly, the way Newcastle are slipping, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. It wouldn't surprise me.
And Fulham is coming up against the opponent that they would want to play right now, Wolves. So that could be our next win again.
And speaking of Wolves, let's look at their game real quick. I cannot believe Wolves lost to Bournemouth. But last 2 weeks we've been saying it. If Bournemouth start focusing on scoring a goal, then the wins will come.
I mean, we have been saying it. We have been saying it for Wolves. They start scoring, they start winning. We have been saying it for Bournemouth. Bournemouth start scoring, Bournemouth find the win. They managed to find a win again. Each time we tend to write up Bournemouth, they tend to get a result.
The grind one out.
Because
the last when we said Bournemouth needs to find a goal, they came up with a 1-1 draw against Newcastle.
Yes.
Right? No, they were resolute enough to find the winner and close out a Wolves team that, in all honesty, was on a little bit of form.
Yes,
After beating Liverpool, they were, carrying that little bounce with them.
So we didn't expect this to happen.
None at all. None at all. Another game I didn't expect the scoring was Brentford Crystal Palace. I knew this was going to be tight, but how Brentford has been playing, especially at home, right? I thought they were going to, roll over Crystal Palace, so to speak. Maybe a 2-1 victory.
And that's the thing with Crystal Palace. They are becoming very difficult to predict week in, week out. You just never know what they will come with.
They become very, very dogged. And the crazy thing, they almost got away with the victory because it was in the 96th minute of stoppage time. That's like a dagger to the heart, man. 96 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah.
But, Crystal Palace, we've said it before, they will be right there, right around mid-table.
Both teams next coming up against difficult opponents next week. Crystal Palace coming up against Liverpool, Brentford coming up against Manchester United. When you look on paper, you would say Liverpool beat Palace right now based on how Liverpool are moving upward.
Right.
Man, you are in great form right now.
So you think, they should turn up and basically roll over Brentford. Yeah.
Yes.
Turn over.
But just like I've said, Crystal Palace, difficult for it. Crystal Palace could very well turn up next week and beat a Liverpool.
And it's the same for Brentford.
And Brentford can go to the theatres of Dream and turn it into their place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same because Ivan Toney doesn't, he scores anywhere, So if he's fit for that game, we never know.
We never know. But we're keeping a close eye on that one, and both games should be entertaining.
Yes. Now, the most entertaining game of the weekend, the showstopper. Them call it the thriller.
The early
the game that almost gave every Arsenal fan a heart attack. Arsenal and Aston Villa. Boy, what a game.
It lived up to the expectation. It lived up to what we expect from our Emery team. Attacking, counteracting football.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. We've said it. The minute Emery took charge of Villa and played his first game, we came on the podcast and said, Emery's team will always be in a shootout. I think this is the second 4-2 loss in 3 games?
In 3 games. And that's the thing with Emery team. He's not a bad manager. He's just a manager that will win big or lose big.
Yeah, and the emphasis is on attack all the time.
And this Aston Villa team need work, especially defensive, because they have a tendency to always be making error that leads to goal. And that's what happened with the first goal with Saka, with Mings. A very experienced defender heading that ball right towards Saka. Right.
A ball that he didn't really need to go far in the first place.
So they're always prone to letting in more than one goals. So I honestly, Emery is not a manager that tends to fix that backline problem. He's mostly going to focus on the attacking side of things.
Yes, and we've seen how attacking they have been, because they have scored in the first 15 minutes of most of their games.
Yes, and this was when you look at, applauds to Watkins, right? Because this is the first time he's been scoring in 4 consecutive games. Yeah. He's a player that you and I rate
big time.
This is a player that was linked with Arsenal on numerous occasions. This is a centre forward that he's not afraid to come collect the ball and run at defenders. Not many center forwards are doing that right now in the EPL.
He will take on defenders, definitely.
Yes, he will take on defenders, and that's what I like about him. That goal by him, top class goal.
Top class.
He managed to find the smallest amount of space and squeeze it past Ramsdale.
No, in saying that, what do you think's wrong with our defense right now? You think, and when I say our defense, the weak link has shifted away from Gabriel to, it seems like, Saliba right now.
Because Zane, when you look at it, over the last couple of game weeks, especially the ones that we have either draw or we lost, it has come from some sloppy errors.
Very sloppy errors.
Because even in Aston Villa game as well, even Ben White made an error that led to the goal.
Yes.
Bear in mind that when you look at Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White, these are all young players.
That is true, because we have the youngest team in the league, right?
Saliba and Gabriel don't have the luxury of having a more experienced centre back beside them, sharing their experience. So both are learning as you go, because the first time in this season, now we are seeing Saliba that actually look like a 21-year-old, because early on in the season, he looked like he was playing in this league 5 years ago.
Yeah, that is true. He looked like a seasoned vet.
Yeah, so you can see the nervousness is still there. I mean, we just come off a defeat. City overtake in the league.
Pressure.
The pressure is there. But we are still in a good position, right? If you really look on it. But when that ball start rolling now, every player is going to say, yo, I make this mistake today.
And that is what happens. I don't want to be the one to make a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a mistake. So
every pass becomes 4 times more difficult.
Yes, because they put themselves under that additional pressure.
But, and then when you really want the experienced player them now to lift them up, but the experienced players themselves, they are also guilty of making mistakes and errors.
Yes, the first goal was from Shevchenko error now.
Yeah, where he lost the ball, and he didn't even need to hold on to the ball that long.
No, not that long. You could have passed it backward, side, any direction.
And then when you look at the second goal, there goes Xhaka getting not to make the ball just full straight through his foot.
Yeah, yes. Now, the positives though is that the team showed resilience and fight.
And that is it. That is it. You can see that unity within this side.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, we came from behind, right? We came from behind twice. So it's when the goals go in, the team doesn't drop their head and stop playing. They believe in what the manager has laid out in front of them, and they keep pushing forward.
And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see, Zian. We love that unity.
Yeah, man. And Shevchenko even made up for his error now with that goal. That was a good goal.
The more
first goal in the Premier League.
Yes. The more I see him, the more this guy true and true is an Arsenal player.
Yes.
This guy play with passion. This guy give his all. I mean,
fully agree.
We can do this, but it's going to take work.
Yeah, man. Everybody needs to
Everybody needs to step up them game. The likes of Saka, he was the one that kept us in this game because everything was going on his side. If it wasn't for Saka, probably Arsenal would even be in this game.
Definitely. This game also would be another thing, Trossard is our impact player from off the bench.
Yes, Trossard is our impact player.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why I won't come down too harsh on him in this game because
First
all right,
half,
yeah, most of
first,
the attack was on the right side.
yes.
So there was not much going on each side. And when he do get the ball, he didn't do much as well. Trossard is
Right.
that player that him kind of remind me of a quarterback. He's not going to force it.
Right.
He's going to spin, twist, turn, and keep his head up looking for that. I mean, like Chavi would say, that perfect pass. But sometimes that waiting on that pass or that perfect pass just tend to break down the player, kill a player.
Right. Sometimes you have to do a Martinelli. Go down your head and just run to the byline.
And he's not that direct.
The thing is, we have the option now. Because speaking of Martinelli, when he came on, he brought some energy in a time where we needed the energy.
Yes. And this season, Martinelli has been doing some really iconic thing. I remember when we play against Spurs and he threw up that scar on the line that the camera run. And then in this match, the guy literally lift up his hand and start celebrating before he scores his goal. I mean, I'm going to say it here.
Yeah.
That's a statue that Martinelli is going to get with his hands up in the air celebrating.
So, because I've heard a lot of people complaining about that and having a problem with it and saying it's disrespectful. And do you have a problem with it?
Disrespectful? What is disrespectful about that?
Because he's celebrating before he even scored.
What Aston Villa should have done is kept their damn keeper in the goal.
What Aston Villa should have done is tell their keeper to stop wasting time.
Yes, and
you know that,
and that is something all of the card that Martinez gets is for time wasting.
He's on what, 6 yellow cards?
Yeah, yes, 6. That's his 6 yellow card.
Time wasting.
Let me give Liam Bailey's props a takedown that takedown was brilliant.
Yeah, man.
The only thing missing was that goal.
And kudos to Ramsdale.
That's a brilliant save.
Yeah, man. We have to mention Ramsdale. Brilliant.
And there was a situation, I think it was Gabriel, who made a save against Liam Bailey. And trust me, if that did score, that right there is like one of the tackle of the season.
Yeah, because Bailey had him on the left and he went to tackle with his left and Bailey chopped back on the right and he just barely towed it from Bailey.
And my boy recover.
Yeah, man. Some good play by Gabriel. People have been on Gabriel's back, man, but he's a good player.
He's a good player. I think what like I said in Azim, what people are forgetting is that this Arsenal is a young crop of player. Let me ask you something, right?
Yeah.
This Arsenal side, if for some reason they don't win the league, right, and come second, will it still be viewed as a good season?
Personally, yes.
All right, and I share the same sentiments as well.
Because yes, we're in a position where everybody is saying we should win the league based on the start we have, the amount of wins we have. But what people fail to realize is that in behind us, let's say Manchester City in particular, they are used to it. They are used to pressure. They have seen, right? They have been together for a long time. In Holland and Alvarez.
And we are in unwanted territory.
Exactly. And especially after last season, we didn't even finish fourth. To come now and be doing so well, it's still a good season for me.
And what I will also add to that is that many people will not highlight it, but Jorginho is the man of the match for Arsenal in that match. Listen, man, Jorginho doesn't bring any flair and nothing athletic about
No,
him.
yeah, no hard tackling, no.
No, you won't get none of that from him. What you will get from him is that he will keep things moving and you have an eye for your pass.
And not only pass, that shot, that strike.
And that was the shot that got every Arsenal fans on their feet.
Yeah, man.
And that was the shot that got everybody up and ready. And I mean, look at it. Arsenal could have hung on to that ball, right? But Vieira made a pass. And if they want to talk about disrespect, Vieira was even celebrating before Martinelli even put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I must say though, Emi Martinez, with the time wasting and the antics, karma is a bitch. Karma is a
bitch. And you know, Emi Martinez is a player that I have always had respect and rate because we know his story, especially how he got the opportunity to play in the FA Cup finals and win, then go on to represent Argentina. But from the moment this man go on and represent Argentina, win his first international trophy, his ego got too big.
Yeah, man. Very, very inflated. Very big. I mean, so, and the way he was, you know, wasting time and carrying on through the game, to see that Georgie come back off the crossbar and hit the back of his head and go.
That was embarrassing.
Calm.
It's a bitch. And like we said, us Arsenal fans, we just have to continue believing. Next week, Sunday, we take on Leicester City. That should be a good one as well. We have a lot of positive to look forward to. We see Smith Rowe back on the bench.
Yes. Gabriel is not far.
He's not far. Hopefully we get to see Smith Rowe. We're playing midweek game. We're playing any Europa League.
You know, I'm not sure when our Europa League game starts because I know we have a week. We have Leicester and then Everton in midweek.
Oh, so I guess maybe it's the other week. We're playing Europa League.
So let's see. But one thing though, like I said, Arsenal fans, stop jump on the players back. Like Eddie Nketiah. Yes, you know, the goals seem to have hit a brick wall, but give the player some support, no? Pick yourself up, Eddie. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going, Eddie. Keep going.
Get your form back. Instead of tear them down and break them down, man. It's like we're doing rival fans' work for them.
Correct. He will get there. We know that. We're not fooling ourselves. We know that Eddie is not the first choice striker, but we appreciate what he's doing for us.
Exactly, he's doing a job. So you know, show the team all the support we can show the team.
Exactly, and get behind the team, support the team.
Just like that. But people, as usual, we're going to ask, how did your team get along? You know, leave it in the comment section. Where do you think your team's going to finish? Who you think's going to win the English Premier League? Don't hesitate. Pin to favorite word. Smash the like button.
Mash it up.
Share it with all your friends.
For all who think said the elephant did drop off of the tree. No, we didn't. We just went to the restroom. We just went to the restroom and then we went to the shop to get some food because this time we're not coming back down.
Yeah, we're back again. People, until then, you don't know Zane and JRP. We ask everybody what good.
And like what Miss Bennett would say, good up, follow you.
Alright, we're out.